What is going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about my 3 least favorite chicken breeds and why. But before we get to that, let me let out my egg laying flock to free range a little bit. Let's do this. Also, before that, just check out how awesome these sunflowers are. I swear, some of these have to be like 10 foot tall. It's just so cool to see all these sunflowers, and they make a lot of shade for my chickens. But anyway, let's let them out. Before I get to these 3 breeds that I don't like, just a disclaimer, this is my opinion and birds that I have dealt with. So it could be completely different with a whole different breeder or different eggs that I've bought, anything like that. All that stuff could have been the reason that I don't like these breeds. So just wanted to put that out there. This is my opinion. I know everybody has different ones, so if you guys have any breeds that you don't like, go ahead and put them down in the comments and let me know what you think about this video. So anyway, let's get to the 3 breeds now. All right, so first up, my first least favorite chicken is the Jersey Giant, which I know they're okay egg layers, you know. They're kind of just one of those chicken breeds that a lot of people know about. In my opinion, and from my birds that I've owned, the roosters are absolutely evil. They've all been super aggressive to me, and they're just not very nice at all. And also, with the hens, they are very dominant, almost like a Rhode Island Red, not as bad, but they're very, very dominant. Like, they like to be on top of the pecking order. So just think about that. Also, I hate to say it, but black is kind of a boring color. Honestly, in my opinion, it's just a black bird, you know, red comb. It's just, it doesn't stand out. Nobody is really like, wants to jump at when I try to sell them and stuff. People aren't as interested in the Jersey Giants as, like, you know, my Ermine Americanas I just bought. They sell very quickly. Also, in my opinion, I think they're very subpar in the egg laying game. So I used to have 5 hens, I think 5 hens and a rooster, and I got like 2 or 3 eggs a day, which, okay, that's pretty good compared to like some of the lesser egg layers. But I had breeds that are bad egg layers that laid better than them, and I felt like 2 or 3 eggs out of 5 hens is not really what I'm looking for in a breed that's supposed to be an amazing egg layer. And on top of that, honestly, there's so many more. If you want a black chicken, just go for the black Astrolorp. They actually have the top egg laying, like, whatever. They've laid the most amount of eggs before in a year. It's some sort of award or something, where a chicken laid more than 365 eggs in a year. So the Astrolorp is definitely a better choice compared to the Jersey Giant. Now, I will say Jersey Giants are better for meat, you know, because Jersey Giant, they're a bigger bird. But honestly, black Astrolorps, they're still a pretty big breed, and all around, I think they're better than the Jersey Giant, which I haven't actually owned them, but I've known a lot of people who have owned Astrolorps, and they're definitely better. And next up, we have Saramas, which I know. I used to own Saramas and I actually really enjoyed them for a little while. But as I owned them, I realized the amount of work you have to put into them. They're a very needy chicken breed. They're tiny, so it seems like, hey, less feed, less all that, which yes, that's true, but they're very people oriented. They want a lot of attention, and once you have so many chickens like I did, like I had tons of different breeding groups and stuff, and they really, like, I could not get them the attention that they needed. So that's one thing. If you don't have the attention or time, I honestly would say if you're getting into Saramas, you have to think that's probably going to be your main breed that you're going to breed overall compared to anything else. You might be able to have like an egg laying flock on top of it, but Saramas are a lot. They also can't handle cold at all. That's a little extra thing on top. I had a lot of them do awful in winter. And another thing, when it comes to Sarama, tiny chicken, you know, tiny eggs. I know you know that going into Saramas, but also at the same time, they aren't really good for anything. They're about the size of a quail egg. And honestly, quail eggs, if you didn't know, have a lot more nutrition. So honestly, I feel like if you're just getting them for the tiny eggs, you should just get quail. Because the quail eggs have more nutrition when the Saramas basically have the same nutrition as a normal chicken egg, just smaller, so you don't get as much of it. And another thing that has to do with eggs is selling hatching eggs or selling birds. People around where I'm at, and this is very specific probably to me and maybe a couple other people around here in this rural area that I live in do not understand the concept of paying so much for a tiny breed of chicken, which if you know a lot about chickens and you know what the breed is and stuff, I've had some people come out and be happy to pay that much for birds. But when it's just some farmer guy that's looking for an extra chicken, they don't want a tiny chicken that lays tiny eggs because that doesn't make sense to them. But honestly, there's not a lot of people around here who understand the whole Sarama thing, because it's a lot of country people who are like, there's only like black or brown chickens, that only think that's what there is. So they really did not sell well at all around here. Like, I actually lost money trying to sell them off because no one would buy them. So which I'll give you an example. So I had the Saramas. The hens can go for 50 to 75 or even more depending on quality. And same with roosters, because people look at the roosters more and they're more intricate. And around here, the best I could do for a Sarama rooster is $5. So for me, shipping in birds from Florida to start with my Saramas and then being able to only sell birds for like $5-10, that's not making me any money. And I just can't have that kind of bird around on my farm. So that's why Saramas are number 2 on my list. And then last but not least, we have the crested cream leg bar. Now, okay, the reason I have this one third is because I'm not against the breed at all. I just, in my experience with the birds that I'm about to talk about, I have not liked my experiences with crested cream leg bars. I'm still thinking about maybe getting crested cream leg bars at some point. I want to try it again because a long time ago when I first started with chickens, I had them. And I bought them from a breeder and I raised them from chicks, and they took forever to lay. Like, way too long for them to be worth it, in my opinion. They took over 30 weeks to lay, which, if you don't know, 16 to 18 weeks is the normal chicken laying period, which obviously that fluctuates by breed and stuff. There's a lot of different things that come into play when it comes to egg laying. But I'm just saying, they took like 30 weeks when my Saramas, which I just talked about, are tiny bantams, and they started laying at 16 weeks. and usually they're not known to lay very quick at all. So I had silkies and other stuff at that time that laid way faster than the crested cream leg bars, and they just took forever. And another thing that you guys probably won't be happy about is I don't think their eggs are up to the hype that everybody says they are. Which, again, this breeder could also have something to do with it. It could be that the breeder mixed them without the egg laying, egg color, all that in mind. So their eggs were very boring. I hate to say it. I know they were blue. They were blue, I'll tell you that. But it was it's just a very dull, basic, boring blue. As with my Ermine Americanas and stuff, their blue is pretty nice. But yeah, I just really didn't like the colored egg for the amount of time you had to wait for it. Also, the roosters I had 2 roosters, and both of them were pretty aggressive. So that's another thing on top of it. The roosters were mean, the hens took forever to lay. Why would I want to keep them? And why would I want to have them around? So I ended up selling them off. Also, another thing, lastly, is that they are very flighty. Honestly, I've had leghorns that are less flighty than the crested cream leg bars. I've had so many other breeds that are known for being super flighty be way less flighty than the crested cream leg bars. And it's not like I just completely did not mess with them as chicks. Like, I was very vigilant on taking care of these chicks and getting them used to me. Yet they still, once they grew up, they just did not want anything to do with me at all. So that's another thing on top of all the stuff with them that I personally don't care about. Anyway, if you guys want to see more of my least favorite, most favorite, a bunch of different types of lists and stuff, make sure you comment down there and just let me know. But anyway, that's it. Today it was super hot, so I thought I'd do something simple. I am like sweating like crazy just by standing here. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and comment down there. Thanks for watching. Bye.